For my third stage in our lab project, we had to talk about the history, and I have a video that I'm going to be sending you. But I added these chains and a lot of wire that's very throughout my piece, a lot of metal, but the chains resemble like somebody being shackled, and it ties into my whole piece because I feel like people who are slaves to the garment district, they can be shackled to fashion and shackled to what's going on, like what's the in trend, and they can become somebody that they don't want to become. But talking about why the garment district was actually made was because it was produced for slavery in the South and for the military. And the garment district would produce garments for the slaves in the South so they wouldn't have to produce their own garments, and they would have more time to work on their farms or wherever they were being enslaved to. And the military wouldn't have to produce their own gear, and they would fight for America. But in my video that I'm going to show you, it's about a woman who was so innocent and so delicate, and she becomes someone who is enslaved into fashion and is enslaved into what the world has made her, almost media or fashion, mainly fashion. But even though that's a more modern twist to slavery and the military, I edited it down to a more manipulated and a more schizophrenic, bipolar attitude. And it took a long time, but I'm really happy and feel very successful with it. But as a whole project, these chains all resemble an ecosystem. And if I were to cut any of these wires, that are holding the body together, it would collapse. And without the history of the garment district, without the mind, structure, influence, without what's coming next season, without what's here this season, there wouldn't be a garment district. So if I were to cut any of these wires down, the whole system would collapse, the whole garment district would collapse. And that is my project for this lab final. Thank you for letting me do my individual project about the garment district.